to my market wrap for Friday, December 9, 2016. Records all abound. Record highs for all the three major indices. The Dow Jones Industrial Average closed up 142.04 points to 19,756.85, or 0.72%. The Nasdaq Composite closed up 27.14 points to 5,444.50, or 0.5%. The S&P 500 closed up 13.34 points to 2259.53, or 0.59%. Small cap Russell 2000 closed up 0.59 points to 1386.96, up 0.04%. Looking at other indices, the Nasdaq 100 triple Qs closed up 36.72 points to 4895.90, up 0.76%. Looking at the S&P Mid-Cap 400 Index, down 3.66 points to 1692.46, or down 0.22%. Looking at the Small Cap 600 Index, up 2.06 points to 857.42, up 0.24%. Looking at the NYSE Composite Index, up 40.20 points to 11,190.16, up 0.36%. Looking at the Gold and Silver Index, the XAU closed down 2.55 points to 80.01, or 3.09%. Looking at the SOX Index, the semiconductors down 4.23 points to 891.47, or down 0.47%. Looking at the Volatility Index, the VIX, down 0.97 points to 11.67, or down 7.67%. Looking at market internals, total share volume today, 3.8 billion shares traded on the New York Stock Exchange, of which 2.2 billion was advancing, 1.6 was declining, and 28 million were unchanged. Looking at the Nasdaq stock market, 2 billion shares total share volume, of which 1.04 was advancing, 950 million was declining, and 32 million were unchanged. Looking at the NYSE market, or Amex, total share volume today, 170 million shares, of which 94 million was advancing, 66 million was declining, and 9.3 million were unchanged. Looking at the advanced decline line, or market breadth, on the New York Stock Exchange today, 1,495 issues were advancing, 1,529 issues were declining, and 98 issues were unchanged. Looking at the Nasdaq stock market, 1,668 issues were advancing, 1,199 were declining, and 135 issues were unchanged. Looking at the NYSE market, or Amex, 166 issues were advancing, 144 were declining, and 27 were unchanged. Looking at currencies and commodities versus the dollar, the euro versus the dollar, 1.0554, down 0.0062. The yen, 115.27, up 1.23 points. My favorite currency of all, the English pound, 125.77, down 0.0008. The Australian dollar, 0.7452, down 0.0010. And the Swiss franc at 1.0178, up 0.0013. And looking at the commodity complex, West Texas Intermediate crude up 85 cents to 51.49, or up 1.28%. Looking at Brent crude at 54.35, up 46 cents, or 0.85%. Looking at gold, down 12.3 to 1160.1, down 1.04%. Looking at silver, 16.915, down 0.181 points, or down 1.06%. Looking at equity futures, the Dow Jones Industrial Future contract on Globex at 19,705, up 141, or 0.072%. Looking at the S&P 500 E-minis on Globex as well, 2254.75, up 12.25, or up 0.55%. Looking at the 10-year bond, down 16/32 or half a point. Yield to maturity up to 2.466%. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a record breaker this week. It's just been going gangbusters. We're getting closer to 20,000 on the Dow. It's going to be exciting. However, coming up later next week, we have the Fed meeting. Look at 25 basis points for a rise in the Fed funds rate. If I see 50 basis points, I'll be surprised, and you might see a market shock. Well, this concludes this week. Thank you, and I will see you guys later. And as always, if you find this video useful, please like, share, and subscribe. And please support me on Patreon. Link is in the description. And I end every video with, as always, please don't be afraid to follow your dream. Just persevere and overcome the obstacles. I'll see you guys on Monday. Thank you. Bye-bye.